Okay. Okay. Well, so research has told us that physical activity is probably the number one thing to help slow cognitive decline, and that's why it's such an important part of our program here. And so, from basic guidelines that we get from different institutions, including the American College of Sports Medicine, the CDC, American Heart Association, they tell us we really should be moving our bodies 150 minutes a week in moderate physical activity. So, what do we mean by moderate physical activity? It's something you can do. It's not going to get your heart rate excessively too high. It's in a safe range for most people. You should still be able to carry on a conversation while you're working. So 150 minutes a week, and ideally also, ideally we want to break that down into like 30-minute programs a week. In addition to that, you should be getting strength training in a good 2 times a week as well. So I'm trying to use all the major muscle groups of the body, which we'll do a little bit of both today. We got an exercise today. I got to pop up on my screen. I got to get rid of. So our program today is the way we structure our programs here at CPE is we try to get a combination of those things. We want to do a workout that's going to get our heart rate up, but at the same time, use all of our major muscle groups. So a little bit about our space. So as Megan mentioned, you want to take a look around your space and make sure there's nothing you can step on, twist an ankle on, trip over. Okay, the program today, you can literally do the entire thing seated. I'm going to give seated demonstrations as well as standing demonstrations. And today's program in particular is about coordination. So we're going to be using more than one body part and doing more than one movement at the same time. Now, this is a program I'd usually wait till later in the progression of our curriculum to introduce to the participants here. But I'm going to give you a little taste of it. This is a program we would do about maybe 6 or 7 weeks into the program. So this was stuff that people would have broken down the activities into smaller parts. Now we'll do that first, but then we're going to start putting these parts together into a little bit more complex exercises. For today's workout, 2 things I have here as accessories. I have 1 dumbbell. This one's 5 pounds, if that gives you an idea how much weight this is. If you don't have any dumbbells, you can grab a soup can, you can grab a water ball, just something you can use that's a little bit lighter, a little bit heavier than just using your hands. But also, if you don't have anything, you can also clasp your hands and do the workout just holding your hands, because it's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of range of motion, and to be stuff, like I said, engaging all the different parts of the body. So to start with, let's go ahead and get warmed up. So we've already talked about the space. We've talked about some ACSM and CDC recommendations for physical activity. So we want to try and get 150 minutes of movement in a week. We want to try and do some kind of strength training 2 days a week. Now, one of my mottos is people who take my classes, they come to learn I'm a man of many mottos. So one of my mottos is no pain, no pain. So if I do a movement or an activity that you find painful, particularly in your joints, we want to avoid that activity. And I'm going to give you some modifications along the way. If you got a cranky knee or a cranky back or a cranky hips or a cranky shoulder, I'm going to show you some modifications that help you work around some of those cranky things. Okay, so if you want to work from your chair, we can just march in place in here. So we're going to go ahead and start getting active. We can just march in place in your chair, or if you feel comfortable doing so, get behind your chair. Now, a little word about the chair. You want a chair that certainly doesn't have wheels on it. And you also want a chair that doesn't have any arms on it, because we're going to be moving our upper body a lot. So I want to make sure my chair doesn't have any wheels and doesn't have any arms. This one's nice because you can actually see through the back of it and see what my legs are doing. All right, so let's get those legs up and get moving nice and slow, nice and gentle to start with. And like I said, you can continue to sit in your chair and work from the chair. Okay, I'm going to take this up to what I call my light and bouncy jog mode, just taking up the intensity just a notch, not going fast and furious, just kind of up on the balls of the feet. I'll get over here where you can see my feet. Just up on the balls of the feet. So I call this light and bouncy mode, or my jog mode. And then I do what I would call baby squats with big arm swings. So I'm going to make sure I don't whack my hands against the chair. A little bit of bend in the knees and the hips, lots of swing in the arms. Again, if you're working from a chair, well, notice how I kind of lift the heels up and then the toes up. Heels up, toes up. Heels up, toes up. Okay, in a second, we're going to add a little side step to that. I'll show you what that looks like seated first, and then I'm going to stand up and show you the standing version. All right, so now I'm going to kind of bring the feet to one side, adding a little bit of step with the feet. So if I'm standing, it's going to look something like this, kind of stepping, still keeping that nice big arm swing. And again, not going crazy fast, and don't feel like you got to go at my speed. Move the speed that's comfortable for you. If you want to move a little slower, move a little slower. If you want to move a little faster, move a little faster. All right, now I'm going to add a little arm circle to that. So I'm going to sweep one arm overhead. And if taking your arm all the way up and overhead like that is uncomfortable, you can just kind of sweep the arm across the body about shoulder height. Okay, and again, if I'm working from a chair, might look something like this. I'm still keeping the feet moving. Add a little arm swing, spinning back and forth. Okay, and I'm going to do a little reach across and add a little more trunk rotation to that. Okay, so I'm going to reach the left arm across to the right arm across to the left arm to right arm to left. Again, if I'm standing, it's going to look something like this. Notice my feet are still moving and turning. I'm just not taking those big steps that was before. Okay, now I'm going to really work on the trunk rotation. Now, so I'm going to bring those elbows up. So we're going to be doing a lot of exercises today that really involve the trunk muscles, the core muscles, the back muscles. So we want to get that core, that trunk area nice and warmed up. I'm going to move from here to, I call it hip circles. This one's kind of tough to do in a chair, but you can just kind of move your torso around in a circle. Now, I'm going to put the brakes on and take the hips the other way. All right, next up, I call these leg swings. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to my chair for this. I'll show you a seated version in a second. So I'm going to take that right leg and I'm just going to kind of swing it gently back and forth, side to side. So if I'm sitting in my chair, I'm going to get on the front edge of the chair, just kind of swing that leg back and forth like so. All right, another, so just side to side. And we're going to go front to back here in just a second. I'm going to take that same leg and I'm going to swing it forward and backward, and I'm going to swing the opposite arm with that leg. All right, and on to leg number 2. All right, left leg, side to side, nice and loose. And then that same leg front to back. All righty, let's work on the neck and shoulders a little bit. So I'm going to move a little closer so you can see what I'm doing in my upper body here. So before I stretch my neck, I want to make sure I'm not slouching, right? I want to try and stretch my neck when my back looks like this. I want to sit posture up nice and straight. You can see how my spine's nice and straight, my neck's nice and long. I'm going to start by just flexing and extending the neck by exhaling gently, bringing the chin down toward the chest, and inhaling gently, looking up toward the ceiling. And exhaling down. So your mantra here, inhale up is slow, smooth, and gentle. Right, be kind to your neck. Love your body. So one of the best ways you can love your body is simply move it. If you think about it, our ancestors, tens of thousands of years ago, would spend somewhere in the neighborhood of about 11 to 13 hours a day looking for food. Now we're going to come back to neutral here, and now we're going to rotate the head right and left. So exhale and slowly look out over your right, and back to center, and slowly look into the left. So our ancestors would spend, like, again, 11 to 13 hours a day looking for food. So that involved walking or running long distances, climbing up and down hills, sometimes climbing trees, sometimes running for your life, right, from a wild animal or another foe of some sort, back and forth. And let's go one more time to the right, and one more time back to the left. All right, now we can do lateral flexion, and we're going to gently tilt the head toward one shoulder and back up and then toward the other. So literally every system of the body benefits from movement. Okay, not just your musculoskeletal system, but also your neurological system, of course, your cardiovascular system, your heart, your lungs, but even things like your digestive system, and even things that you may not think about, but even your skin benefits from movement, increased circulation, increased blood flow. Back up we come. Let's go one more time to the right and up, and one more time to the left. So moving your body is simply one of the best things you can do to love your body. All right. So other things you do to love your body, let's go do some shoulder rolls. So I'm going to bring them forward. I'm going to take them up. I'm going to take them back down. Forward, up, back, and down. Of course, other things you can do to love your body is get enough sleep, get enough good quality sleep. All right, forward, up, and of course, eating it right is also very important. Okay. And I'm going to add the elbows. So I'm going to go forward, up, back, and down, and forward, and up, back, and down, and forward, up, back, and down, and forward, up. I'm going to stretch the arms and fingers out. Notice the big wide spread of my hands, like I'm getting ready to try and pick up a basketball with one hand. Big breath in as I reach up and back. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. And exhale, back and down. Let's go one more like that. Forward and up. Back and down. All right, shoulder blades are only going the other way. So now I'm going to go back, up, forward, and down, and back, and up, and forward, and down, and back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward. Let's add elbows, back, up, forward, and down, and back, and up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, and up, and forward, and stretch those arms and fingers out. Big breath in as we reach back and up. Exhale, forward, down. Again, if this is on your heart or shoulder, I'll just do like a half circle. Just come maybe up here about shoulder height. You don't have to bring the arms way up here overhead. Big breath in as we reach up and back. Exhale, forward and down. Let's go one more like that. Up and back. Forward and down. I'm going to back up a bit so you can see my feet. Now, we're not going to do a ton of balance work today, but I do these ankle exercises on a regular basis, probably 3 or more times a week. Okay, I'm going to elevate my feet off the ground so I can move them both. So I'm going to point my toes, and then I'm going to flex the toes back. Point and flex. So all these muscles in your lower leg are extremely important for balance. And we tend to fall more as we get older for various different reasons, but the main 2 reasons is, one is our reaction time slows. So instead of catching yourself here, maybe you're not catching yourself until here. Okay, so your reaction time slows is one, but the other big one is, unless you're doing something about it, these lower leg muscles will atrophy. So we want to keep these lower leg muscles strong, those ankles flexible. So this is one of the best ways to do it. Just do some simple ankle exercises like this. All right, I'm going to do maybe like 4 more like this. So I usually do somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20 of these in both directions. And I really want to take it to the full range of motion both ways. All right, now I'm going to angle the soles of the feet inward, and then I'm going to turn them out, in and out. I'm going to go back and forth like that. Again, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 times, give or take a few. So I'm really working on those lower leg muscles. I happen to live in a neighborhood that it's a very old neighborhood. So the sidewalks have tons of cracks, and there's, rocks and busted concrete. There's roots growing up through the sidewalk. So there's some of those hexagonal sidewalk plates there, or cement block bricks. And so it's a tricky neighborhood to walk in if you're not being careful. Okay, now I'm going to do some big circles. So I'm always stepping on uneven surfaces when I'm going for walks in my neighborhood. So I'm circling inner to outer here. You're probably feeling those lower leg muscles really starting to warm up. I know I'm feeling my warm up. And I'm going to change direction of those. Oh, they're getting warm now. I can feel that. All right, good enough. All right, so I'm going to put my feet flat on the floor. Okay, it's about time to start bringing some of that coordination in. All right, so let's start simple, but then we're going to get more complex. So I'm going to pick the heels up, and then I'm going to pick my toes up, and then my heels up, and then my toes up, and my heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. Couple more, heels up, toes up, heels up, and toes up. Okay, I'm going to give my lower legs a little break here, and we'll do the palms. So I'm going to flip my palms up. And then I'm going to flip my palms down, and then palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. One more, palms up, palms down. All right, I'm going to go back to the feet. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit now. So I'm going to pick one heel up and then the opposite toe up. And then I'm going to go back and forth, switching one heel up, one toe up. Now, I recommend you actually look at your feet as you do this, because you might think you have a heel up and a toe up, and you look down and say, oh, I got a heel up and not a toe, or maybe I got a toe up and not a heel. So actually take a peek at your feet and see if they're actually doing what you think they're doing. All right, now I'm going to give, the feet a break and go back to the hands. So this time I'm going to have one palm up and one palm down. I'm going to flip both of those simultaneously. One palm up, one palm down, back and forth. One palm up, one palm down. Again, go slow. Take your time. You probably figured out what I'm going to do next here. Okay, so I'm going to do both hands and both feet at the same time. So I'm going to do heels up, palms up, toes up, palms down. We're going to switch all four limbs at once. Heels up, palms up, toes up, palms down, heels up, palms up, toes up, palms down, palms up, heels up, palms down, toes up. All right, now you probably guess what's coming next. Okay, I'm going to go back to one heel up, one toe up. Now this time one palm down, one palm up. I'm going to switch all four of those body parts at one time. So again, one heel up, one toe up, one palm up, one palm down. And again, I recommend checking your feet and actually make sure your feet are doing what you think they're doing. All right, so this is really now working the brain now. Okay, we're moving all four body parts in different ways at the same time. So we're firing, hitting a lot of different places in your brain at the same time. Okay, now if this is a piece of cake for you, I'm going to add one more thing to that. So we do, here at the Cognitive Empowerment Program, we do a lot of what we call dual tasking in my class. So what is dual tasking? That's when you have a physical activity and you pair that with a cognitive activity. Well, this is already a pretty challenging cognitive activity in and of itself. But now I'm going to start at 100. And every time I flip my feet in my hands, I'm going to start counting backward by threes. And you can try that at home too. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So I'm going to start here as 100, switch, 97, switch, 94, switch, 91, switch, 88, carry on, 85, 82, 79, 76, 73, 70, and you're probably tired of that. So that's enough of that. We'll wash our hands of that activity. All right, this is a good time to get a little drink. I've always liked to keep my water bottle handy. So let's take a little hydration break and get hydrated here before we get into the main part of the program. Okay, so like I said, today we're going to focus on coordination. I have two little mini circuits for you. Each circuit consists of 3 exercises. We'll do each exercise for roughly a minute, give or take a few seconds. Okay, and so we'll do each circuit 2 times. So the first time I go through the circuit, I'm going to do all the exercises in a seated position. And then the second time we go through, you have the option of repeating those seated modifications, or you can do the standing version of the exercise. So I'm going to get my trusty 5-pound dumbbell here. And so the first one, I call it press jacks. Well, it's like doing a jumping jack at the same time you're pushing the weight over the head. So there's 2 actions I'm going to do simultaneously. So there's a lower body action. I'm going to step 1 foot out, step 1 foot back, 1 foot out, 1 foot back. And then there's an upper body action. While I'm stepping, I'm going to actually push this weight over my head. Now, again, if you got a bum shoulder, okay, you can skip the weight. If you're clasping your hands, you can use your good hand or good arm to help pull the not so good arm up and overhead. Or you can go just straight out instead of up. If bringing the arms up and overhead is hard on your shoulder, you can just push the arms forward. Okay, so I'm going to start here with the weight underneath my chin. Let's just do the lower body for a second. So I'm going to step 1 leg out and back. And then left leg out and back. Right leg out, back. Left leg out, back. And right. And return, left, return, 1 more each way, right, and back, left, and back. Now I'm going to do the little upward press. I'm going to push the weight up and bring it back down. So I'll do a handful like that. Again, if that's uncomfortable, just push your weight straight out in front of you, or just clasp your hands, skip the weight, just push it out straight like that. Okay, a couple more like that, either pushing up or pushing out. Or maybe I'll alternate. I'll go one up and I'll go one out. Okay, now I'm going to combine the lower body action with the upper body action. So I'm going to step the foot out at the same time I press the weight overhead. And then I bring the foot back and then the weight back down. Now I'm going to step out to the left and weight is down. Stepping right, weight is up and back. Stepping left, weight is up and back. And again, stepping to the right, weight is up and back. Stepping to the left and back. And to the right and back. And to the left and back. One more each way, to the right and back. Last one to the left and back. All right, let's take a little 30-second time out here. All right, while we're taking this little time out, I'm going to give a little demonstration of our next activity, but you should take a moment and simply rest. So the next one, it's called a chopper. Most people refer to it as a chopper. So I'm going to turn to my left, or my right, my left, your right, and I'm going to bring the weight to my chin, and then I'm going to turn to my right. And again, you're going to push the weight either up and overhead, or you can push it out again, or you can get without the weight, just clasping the hands. All right, so we're going to go a few seconds going from the right knee. Notice how I do a bicep curl here. Then I weight back to the chin, I turn, rotate to the right, and then I push the weight up and over the opposite shoulder. All right, so we're going to go down. So go down to your right knee, weight to your chin, turn to the left, weight over left shoulder. All right, and back down to the right, turning. Here's our curl, here's our rotation, and then our upward extension over the left shoulder. Back down to the right, rotating to the left, up and over left shoulder, back down to the right, and rotating up to the left, and back down, and again down right, and chin, up left, down right, to the chin, up to the left. Let's go two more this way, down to the right, weight to the chin, up to the left, one more this way, down to the right, to the chin, up to the left, and back down. All right, let's take a little 20-second time out here. Then we're going to take it the other direction. So then I'm going to take it down, pick it up off the left knee, bring it to the chin, rotate to the right, and push it up and over the right shoulder. Well, we're taking a little break here. I'm going to get a little sip of water. And you should too. All right, side two, away we go. All right, so we're going to turn down to the left, weight down to the outside of that left leg, bring it up to the chin, turn to the right, pushing up and over the right shoulder, and back and down to the left, to the chin, up and over right shoulder, and again, down left, to the chin, up right, or out right, down left, to the chin, up to the right, and back down, and again, down left, to the chin, up right, and again, down left, to the chin, up right. Let's go two more this way, down to the left, to the chin, up to the right, and last one this way, down to the left, up to the chin, up and over that right shoulder, and back down. All right, take another 20, 30-second time out here. Okay, the next one, I call it a march and reach. So I'm going to start with the weight over my head. So just watch for a second. So I'm going to bring the weight down to the outside of the leg. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to pick up the leg in the direction I'm turning. So again, there's a lower body movement. At the same time, I'm doing the upper body movement. All right, so let's just practice the upper body movement for a couple swipes. Okay, so again, you can have the weight down here and just take it down like this. Okay, kind of like we did in our chopper. If it's bothering your shoulder, or if you can start up here, we'll start up here. Okay, so I'm going to take that weight down to the right, back up, down to the left, back up, down to the right, back up, and down to the left. All right, let's just practice in the high knee now. So I'm going to bring that right leg up nice and high, and back down. Left leg nice and high, and down. And right leg up, and down. Left leg up, and down. Right leg up, and down. And left leg up, and down. Now I'm going to put those two together. So again, here's my starting position, and then your shoulders are cranky. Just start down here with the weight at your chin. All right, so I'm going to rotate to the right. I'm going to bring the weight down. At the same time, I bring the right leg up. I'm going to put the foot back down and bring the weight back up. Now I'm rotating to the left. Leg comes up, weight comes down, back to my starting position. Okay, so you can see there's some abdominal work that takes place here to lift that leg up. I'm adding a rotation to my trunk, which is really going to challenge those oblique muscles. And then I'm bringing that weight up and down with the arms, which are really going to work the shoulders. Okay, so we're working a lot of different body parts at one time. But we're also working our brain by coordinate these different movements, because every time we do a different part of the body, it fires or triggers a different part of the brain. Let's just do maybe one more each way of this one. All right, and last time to the left and back down. All right, let's take another 30-second time out here. So we're going to repeat those 3 exercises. Now you have the option of repeating exactly what you just did, and I will review the seated version of those. Or if you feel so inclined, we can do the standing version, which obviously that's going to be just a little bit more work. Okay, so the first one, as you recall, was the press jack. This is where I step the leg out. At the same time, I press the weight overhead. This is how it looks in the seated version. Again, feel free to repeat that. Otherwise, here's the standing version. Get the chair out of the way so I don't trip over it. So I'm going to step out to the right. Same time I push the weight up. Step back, bring the weight down, and then I'm going to change sides. Stepping left and weight down. All right, so make an informed decision. Which one of those options do I want to try? We're going to do that for about, like I said, close to a minute, maybe 45 seconds. On clock, it starts now. On your mark, get, set, and go. So right foot out, weight is up. Okay, foot back, weight is back down. And now stepping to the left, weight is up and back down. And again, to the right, weight's up. Return, out to the left, weight is up, back and down. And again, stepping right, weight up and back. Stepping left, weight up and back. To the right and back. To the left and back. Let's go 2 more each way. To the right and back. To the left and back. Last one each way, folks. To the right and back. And to the left and back. All right. So we're going back to, after a 30-second timeout here, we're getting back to our chopper. Again, here's the seated version. Let's quickly review that. So this is where I pick the weight up off the right knee. I pull it into the chin. I turn the feet, push the weight up and over the opposite shoulder, the left shoulder. So that's the seated version. Again, do that again if you wish. Otherwise, here's the standing version. So I'm going to do a little bit of a bend in my knee and my hip, but look at my back. I want to keep my back nice and straight. What I don't want to do is this, round my back to try and take the weight down. Okay, I want to keep my back nice and straight. If you look at my feet, they're about shoulder width apart, maybe an inch or 2 wider. So watch how much turn the feet to the right. Pick that weight up off of my right knee, pull it into the chin, turn the feet to the left, push the weight up and over the left shoulder. All right, so we'll carry on with that. So down to the left knee, to the chin, rotate, up and over right shoulder. Okay, again, we're going to go to this side for about 45 seconds, and then we'll change sides and go the other way for about 45 seconds. So again, down right, weight to chin, turn feet, rotate trunk, up and over left shoulder. And again, down right to chin, turn feet, up left, back to chin, down to the right, weight to the knee, back to the chin, up and over that left shoulder, and back, down right, to the chin, turning, rotating, pushing, up left, down right, chin, up left. Let's go 2 more this way, down to the right, to the chin, rotate, up to the left, last one this direction, down right, to the chin, and up left, and back down. All right, so we're going to head the other way. Again, if you're seated, and again, as a reminder, if it bothers your shoulder to push that weight up and overhead, you can just stop here or push out a little bit. You don't have to bring the weight all the way up and overhead. Otherwise, we're going down to the left, up to the right. That's a quick review of the seated version, standing version. So here's my starting position, weight by the chin. I turn the feet to the left, pick that weight up off my left knee, pull it back to the chin, turn the feet to the right, push it up and over the right shoulder. All right, so we're backing down to the left, down to the knee, weight to the chin, up and over right shoulder, back and down left, to the chin, up and over, right shoulder, and down left, down to the knee, to the chin, up and over the shoulder, back down to that left knee, up to the chin, turn the feet, up and over that right shoulder. Let's go 2 more this way, down left, to the chin, rotate, up and over that right shoulder. Last one this way, folks, down to the chin, and up over that right shoulder. And done with that one, folks. All right, again, let's take another water break here, another 30-second timeout. And we got 3 more exercises, 3 brand new exercises. So let me show you what those look like. Okay, I call this one the frog squat reach. Okay, so here's the seated version. So the first thing I want you to look at is look at the width of my feet. Okay, nice and wide. Okay, so I'm going to do what I call a little 2-inch butt lift. So I'm going to just pick my hips up 2 inches off that chair, and then I'm going to put it back down. Okay, let's just try a couple of those. Okay, I'm going to lean forward, get my body weight out over my legs, and then have a sit. Okay, and then again, if that's hard, just do a little hip hinge forward and pull yourself back up. Let me show you from the side. So again, it's important I keep that back from rounding. I don't want that back to round forward. It's okay to have a little arch in your lower lumbar, but I don't want that back rounding. Okay, so that's the frog squat part. The reach part is once I sit up, I'm going to do a bicep curl and again, an overhead shoulder press. So once again, from the top, I'm going to do a little hip lift, have a sit up tall, bicep curl, overhead press. And again, if that's hard on the shoulder, you can push the weight out. If that's still hard on the shoulder, clasp your hands, use your good hand to help pull the not so happy shoulder arm up over the head. All right, let's take it from the top here. All right, so I'm going to lean forward, get my little 2-inch hip lift. Buttocks is back down, bicep curl, overhead press, weight is down, 2-inch lift, keeping that back nice and straight, curl, overhead press, weight is down, hinge, have a seat, curl, press, weight down, little hip hinge, little buttocks lift, back down we go, curl, press, and weight is down, again, hinge, and down, curl, and press, hinge, hip lift, buttocks down, curl, press. How about 2 more, folks? Down, hinge, and curl, and press. Last one, weight down, those buttocks lift, back down we come, curl, and press. And let's just take a moment here. All right, so the next one, I'm going to do a kind of a lunge position with the legs, and I'm going to take the weight in the direction of the front foot or the front leg. Okay, so here's, again, my starting position with my weight by the chin. So I'm going to kick the right foot forward, step the left foot back, and then I'm going to turn in the direction of the front leg. Let's just do that much for start with, okay? Actually, let's just do the leg. So right foot forward, left foot back. And then back to your starting position. Now left foot forward, right foot back. And we'll change, alternate, right foot forward, left foot back to neutral, left foot forward, right foot back. So that takes a little coordination, just moving 2 feet at once. Okay, now I'm going to add the rotation. Right foot forward, left foot back. Now I'm going to turn to the right, turn forward, feet back together. Now left foot forward, right foot back, turn to the left, turn forward, feet together. Right foot forward, left foot back, turn to the right, turn forward, feet together, left foot forward, right foot back, turn to the left, turn forward, feet together. Now I'm going to add a bicep curl to that. So right foot forward, left foot back, turn to the right. While you're there, lower the weight to the outside of the right leg, bring it back to the chin, turn forward, feet together. I know that's a lot of information, so we'll go slow. Left foot forward, right foot back, turn left, weight down, weight up, turn forward, feet together. Right foot back, right foot forward, left foot back, turn right, weight down, weight up, turn forward, feet together, left foot forward, right foot back, turn left, weight down, weight up, turn forward, feet together. Let's go one more each way. Right foot forward, left foot back, turn to the right, weight down, weight up, turn forward, feet together. Last side, last time. Left foot forward, right foot back. Turn left, weight down, weight up, turn forward, feet together. That was a handful, I know. So if you thought that was hard, there's a good reason for that. It's because it was. All right, so we got one more in this circuit. I call this globe squatters or around the world squat. So again, we won't be standing up for the first variation on that. If time permits, I'm looking at the clock now, we may not have time to get through all three of these exercises in the standing position. All right, so from here, I'm going to do my little hip hinge and my little buttocks lift, and then I'm going to bring sitting the weight doing a curl. I'm going to do a circle overhead from right to left, back to my hip hinge and little buttocks lift, and then I'm going to circle from left to right. So again, there's an upper body movement and a lower body movement. So I'm back to my double wide stance. I'm going to do my little hip hinge, pick my backside up 2 inches or not. Maybe you can just leave it on the chair. We're going to do a circle from right to left, and then back to my little hip hinge, little buttocks lift, buttocks is down, circle left to right, and again, hinge, lifting the buttocks, lowering it, circle right to left, hip hinge, little hip lift, weight, buttocks is down, circle left to right. Let's go one more each way. Hip hinge, hip lift, have a seat, circle right to left, and one more hinge, one more hip lift, weight is buttocks is down, circling left to right, and relax. If that doesn't call for another drink, I don't know what does. So let's get hitting our water bottle. So I'm looking at the clock here. I'd hope to get through all three of those exercises standing, but maybe we'll just hit a couple of them. Okay, so I'm going to do the frog squat reach anyway. So again, I'm going to keep that double wide stance, and again, feel free to do the seated version. Just do your little hip hinge and your little buttocks lift, and then the curl and the overhead press. So from here, I'm going to use my chair as sort of a target, but I want to check and make sure my chair is where I think it is, because I want to actually just try and touch my buttocks to the chair. And I don't want to go to have a sit and my chair not be there. So I'm just going to do a squat, lightly touch my buttocks to the chair, stand up, curl, overhead press. So 3 exercises rolled into one, folks, at no additional charge. All right, so let's go. Let's take it from the top here. Again, either seated or standing. You're either doing a squat or a forward hip hinge, a little hip lift, sit tall, stand tall, bicep curl, overhead press. Weight is all the way back down. Once again, hip hinge or squat, sit or stand tall, curl, overhead press, and again, sit or stand, or squat, or do a hip lift, stand tall, curl, press, weight is down, again, squatting or hinging, sit tall, stand tall, curl, press. Let's go 2 more, back to that squat or hip hinge, curl, and press, weight is down. Let's go last one, folks, squat, and curl, and press, and weight is down. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it for the exercises today, but I do want to get a couple stretches in before we call it a day. We really worked our shoulders a lot today, so I want to make sure we give those a little love. Again, that's our theme for today, love your body, love your brain. All right, so I'm going to take that right arm, and I'm going to hug it across my chest. I know it's kind of hard to see with this dark shirt on and this light, so I'm going to get a little closer. See how I can bring that arm across the chest, and the other arm's going to reach in and just kind of hug that in nice and tight. And don't forget to breathe. Enjoy some nice deep breaths while you're doing this. And then side 2. All right, so I'm going to hug that left arm across the chest, using the right arm to hug it in nice and tight. I'm going to do one for the triceps. So I'm going to take my lower down here so you can see a little bit. I'm going to bring my right arm up toward the ceiling. I'm going to bend that elbow. With the left hand, I grab that arm and pull it back just a little further, and then gently bring my head back up against the arm. And again, enjoy some nice deep breaths while I'm here. And side 2, left arm up, bending, bringing the hand back, pushing the head bent gently against the arm. All right, I'm going to do one more for the biceps here. All right, so I'm going to take this arm. I'm going to straighten it. I'm going to externally rotate it. I'm going to see that elbow is straight, and then I'm going to use the left hand to gently pull the right fingers back. And same thing on the left side. So left arm, I'm going to extend it, rotate it. Again, elbow is straight. Right hand's going to gently pull those left fingers back. And a release for the chest. So I'm going to interlace my fingers behind my back and really pull those shoulders back to stretch open the chest. So if you spend a lot of time sitting at a computer or something like that, this is a good one to do. So you kind of ditch the slouch. All right, how about one more for the back? This feels really good. I'm going to just have a seat for this one. And I'm just going to kind of drape my body over my legs and just let my head and shoulders just kind of hang heavy and enjoy that nice stretch in my back. All right, and then up we come. So I think that's about all we have time for today, folks. I thank you for joining me. Hope you got something out of that workout. I feel a little warmer and a little looser. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And this video will be available to you on YouTube. So feel free to watch it again.